Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift Farm. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and let's throw up the field for Saturday's Spa Baby race. We kick off the 20-cent Empire 6 with race number 5. 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. Spendthrift Farm represented by 2 runners in this field. The 8 Win From Within, main track only runner number 12, Mo Mischief. They're both by Into Mischief. And Nicole, this field has a little bit of everything, some experienced performers and some very well-bred first-time starters.
Yeah, and a little bit of everything in the pedigrees, too. You have kind of some pure turf sires, some sort of multi-purpose sires, some first crop stallions, some European stallions. It's an interesting little mix to play around with here.
Let's talk about the field in program number order, beginning with the number 1, Thorn. And this is a nice mixture of speed and stamina in this pedigree by first crop sire Speightster. You've got a lot of route ability on the bottom. This colt showed a little bit of tactical speed in his sprint debut. I think he can work out a nice pace tracking, ground saving trip. We know Bill Mott's second time starters do very well. What do you think of the Speightsters? How do you think they'll perform on turf?
Well, I don't think it's out of the question for Speightster to sire a turf horse. You look at his sire, Speightstown, and he is the sire of Grade 1 winners, both sprinting and routing on both the dirt and turf. I think especially with the turf in this one's female family, to back Speightster up a little, that will help. I'm maybe more concerned about Speightster's ability to sire a distance horse, but again, you see some milers and routers in the female family to give him that blend of speed and stamina.
Thorn is program number 1, breaking from post position 2. Breaking to his inside is his uncoupled stablemate. The number 2, Lease, drew the rail. Lease is by Lee. The dam won 4 turf races. This colt just didn't break very well in his career debut, and we know Bill Mott likes to give his horses a race or two. Perhaps Lease can improve. I think he's going to have to.
I think so as well, but I think he will improve off that experience. You see a lot of first-time starters have a little trouble with the gait or with the break and then improve next out. A lot of turf and route ability, I think, on both sides of this page by Lee, who is a graded performer on both the dirt and turf and a nice multi-purpose sire.
A horse that's going to take a lot of attention at the windows is the number 3, Sifting Sands. This is a half-brother to Legatissimo, a multiple Group 1 stakes-winning turf router. Sifting Sands sold for $645,000 as a Tattersalls yearling by the great European stallion Dubawi. It's trained by Chad Brown. Nice workouts. You really can't ask for anything more except the price, and I'm not sure we're going to get one.
No, you really can't ask for anything more. And I mean, there's a reason why this horse is going to take action at the windows. You look at the pedigrees in this race, and as I said, you have a bit of everything. You have kind of some multi-purpose sires. You have some stallions where you wonder, well, is this really the spot for them? But this is the spot for Sifting Sands. Dubawi, who stands for Godolphin in Europe, a son of their late great Dubai Millennium. Turf routers, that's what he wants to sire. Sifting Sands, I think, well spotted for his debut.
The 4, What Makes Sammy Run, has a solid pedigree by Wee Miss Artie, who is good on synthetic and turf. What Makes Sammy Run is a half-brother to Shakamat, a multiple Grade 3 stakes winner on turf. He was a pretty good 2-year-old. This is the family of Perfect Sting. I believe won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. And What Makes Sammy Run actually worked pretty well at that sale in June.
Yeah, and worked well considering that he probably wanted to be on the turf, that he probably wasn't working on his preferred surface. George Weaver, another one who likes to let these horses develop a little bit. But What Makes Sammy Run is coming off a really solid work, I think, here at Saratoga.
Number 5 is Take Profit, going out for proud new daddy Jeremiah O'Dwyer. Take Profit, a $10,000 March 2-year-old in training purchase by the first crop sire Air Force Blue. There is a lot of turf ability in this family. Let's talk about Air Force Blue. He was a good horse on the grass.
Yeah, Air Force Blue was a European champion juvenile, going shorter distances. He's already got some winners on both dirt and turf in both the U.S. and Europe, and I don't think it's out of the question for his runners to stretch out. Air Force Blue is from a really distance-oriented family, the family of champions Flanders and Surfside. Jerry O'Dwyer does very well with his 2-year-olds, was kind of some sneaky bargain buys, and this one has a bullet work at his Laurel base preparing for debut.
Nautilus is the number 6, and he perhaps brings the best turf form to the party. Let's watch his turf and route debut last month at Saratoga on July the 18th. I thought he worked out a pretty good trip in this race. There wasn't a lot of pace on. He showed good stretch out speed, and Nautilus ran well. He's on the outside in the pink cap. He's going to get up into second. 58 buyer speed figure. He'll probably have to improve on that. I don't see any reason why he can't.
I don't see so either, especially considering his draw in this race. I think he's ideally drawn to work out a decent stalking trip under Javier Castellano, who rides him back. And if you think experience counts, this is certainly your man. He's making his 4th lifetime start. As you said, really improved in his turf and route debut after a pair of dirt sprints. And Cairo Prince, kind of a sneaky good turf sire.
And a nice pedigree as well. Nautilus a half to Baracho, a grade 1 stakes place sprinter. The dam's a half to Vanzi, who just won the Jersey Derby on turf. Trainer Graham Motion has 2 in here. Let's talk about the 7, Snows Island. This horse is really bred for distance and turf by Kentucky Derby winner Animal Kingdom, who could certainly run on the turf and can certainly sire a good turf horse. The dam, a grade 2 stakes winning router on the turf. And I like the steady string of workouts at Fair Hill for Graham. Snows Island should relish the surface and distance.
Yeah, and should certainly have the foundation for his debut off that steady workout pattern of 4 and 5 furlong works. Animal Kingdom, certainly a stamina influence, having won the Kentucky Derby. I personally think the best race of his career was on turf in the Breeders' Cup Mile when he finished behind Wise Dan when he was working his way back from a long layoff. Just an outstanding athlete Animal Kingdom was, and also trained by Graham Motion.
There's a surprising formulator fact from Motion, who's one of the best trainers in the world. He has his 2 horses in here, Snows Island and Excursion. Past 5 years, 2-year-old debut runners in maiden special turf routes, only 1 for 41. It just appears that Graham likes to give him a race along the lines of a Bill Mott barn. Let's talk a little bit about the 8, Win From Within by Spendthrift Super Stallion Into Mischief. This is a $100,000 yearling, has started twice on the dirt for Todd Pletcher, but this horse should appreciate switching to the turf and stretching out. The dam won on the grass. The dam's a half to Shakis, a graded stakes winner on the turf. A lot of class in the bottom of this pedigree. I'm expecting Win From Within to perform perhaps at his best level on this surface.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting move from Pletcher, who certainly knows how to place his 2-year-olds. Might be kind of a sneaky play as this one goes dirt sprint to turf route. Into Mischief, we know him more as a dirt sire, but he can sire a turf horse. You look at horses like Vijack coming to mind, a graded winner on both dirt and turf. You've got the stamina and the turf in the female family to back him up as well.
Let's take a look at a formulator fact for Todd Pletcher regarding the 8, Win From Within. Past 4 years with 2-year-olds moving from dirt to turf and sprint to route in maiden special weights at the Spa, 44% winners. He likes to get a little bottom into them, sprinting on the dirt and stretching out on the turf. Again, expecting a good performance from Win From Within. Now, the other Graham Motion trained first-time starter, the number 9 Excursion, has a lovely, lovely pedigree. I'm just not sure it's a turf pedigree. I think Graham might have Excursion in here because if you want to run long at Saratoga with your 2-year-olds, you got to run long on the turf. Excursion is by the great stallion Curlin. He's a half-brother to Preakness winner Oxbow. The dam is a full sister to 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner Tiz Now. Just a tremendous pedigree.
And, it's a tremendous pedigree, and that's exactly how I read this move as well. Curl and Kensteyer, top class runners on both dirt and turf, going a route of ground. This pedigree certainly screams a route of ground overall, but it also says dirt to me. As you mentioned, they don't card two-turn dirt races for 2-year-olds just yet in the year. I wonder if this one is just here to go long, to get that foundation, if they'd be happy with a good run, and we'll see this one switching surfaces later on.
And completing the field is the number 10, American Diamond. And wouldn't it be appropriate on 4-Star Dave Saturday at the Spa if American Diamond from the female family of the Saratoga loving 4-Star Dave gets it done first out for Mark Cassie by American Pharaoh, who has done great work with his turf progeny thus far. Lots of turf in this pedigree, but a tough outside post.
Well, a tough outside post, but I do think that maybe, with the speed inside of them, that Tyler Gaffleone can work out a nice stalking trip if they can get over a bit and save some ground before that first turn on the inner turf. I love this pedigree. American Pharaoh, as you mentioned, has done so well with his turf runners. They're continuing to run on as they get a little bit more distance at this point in their careers. And man, the family of 4-Star Dave, the Sultan of Saratoga, as he was known, and of 4-Stars All-Star, another very good runner in New York. I love this family.
The 3 remaining entrants are entered main track only. We want to see this race on the turf. We hope we don't see those 3. Let's see our top selections, however, as we kick off the 20-cent Empire 6 with our Spa Baby race. We both like Sifting Sands. Really, this horse has just a tremendous pedigree. It's Chad Brown. Check out the clock report that Mike Welsh will produce a little bit later on this afternoon or perhaps on Friday. I'm expecting you're going to see some very good things.
Yeah, I think Sifting Stands, as I mentioned, by that stellar European sire Dubawi. I think he's well spotted here. I just think he's possibly primed for debut. I think there will be a lot of horses who will move forward out of this race who are also going to relish the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some prices in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to round out your exotics. And that was kind of how I tried to look at this race.
And we have the same exacta cold. We're going to try to get the experienced performer Nautilus into our exacta. You like American Diamond for 3rd, perhaps Lease for Bill Mott can get in there. I could see that. Maybe Snow's Island for Graham Motion. We know Graham doesn't like to win with these horses first time out or likes to give them a race. Maybe we'll see a good late run from Snow's Island. 3-6-10-2 for Nicole, 3-6-7-8 for me. It's the Spa Baby race for 4-Star Dave Saturday, and it's presented by Spendthrift Farm.